What's up? Alright, so, that big ass snow front that everyone's talking about is coming up to New York, is hitting us here in the Ozarks now. The old poncho and hammock have been set up for, geez, I don't know, a couple days now, just letting snow get pummeled down on it and ice and putting it through the elements and, you know, just getting some real world testing done, basically. You know, we're trying to transition from theory to real world so we don't fucking kill ourselves when we go try to live in the woods. This is yet another one of those tests. Today, we're actually going to incorporate another test that went from theory to fucking practicality. We're going to make a fire, right? But this time, I want to see, I get a lot of grief from people that are like, well, you need a 6x8 tarp or a 10x8 tarp or a 12x12 tarp in order to effectively live under during the rain. I mean, I know it sucks living under a tarp, you know, the size of a USGI poncho, especially when, you know, the wings are fucking torn down with fucking snow and shit. But I think it's doable, you know, and especially when you consider it's not always going to be rainy, it's not always going to be snowy. Consider like the percentage time that it is actually going to be those things. Right, rainy and snowy. I can't justify carrying around like a 12x12 tarp. Maybe if it's like a still nylon tarp, I don't know. I've never fucked around with still nylon. Anyway, so we'll try not to make this video too long. So the goal today is going to be, here we are. What prompted this was I was sitting inside by the fire, looking at all my shit, you know, and I come out every now and then, lay in the make sure water doesn't get in, and it doesn't, which is awesome. No snow, no water. But I was like, man, if I had to live out there 2 days straight, there is no way I'd want to fucking do that without a fire. No fucking way in hell. And I looked at this, and I was like, well, alright, so that means we gotta rig up a way to get fire out of our fucking, what we're working with here. So, that's what we're gonna try and do today. We're gonna try and set up a fire under here. Even though I probably wouldn't have the hammock set up in the winter, I can take that hammock down to about 30 degrees with all the shit I got, but, you know, it starts getting uncomfortable at that point, and normally it's under 30 degrees at night in the winter, so I'm probably not going to do that. So, anyway, but I will have the tarp, and this is the tarp we're working with, so the question today is, the theory had always been, well, in shitty weather, rainy, snowy, shitty, icy, sleety weather, cold weather, I will just set up my fucking tarp and build a fire. So now we're going to see today if we can do that. Boom! Okay, so last time I made a fire, the last how to make a fire in the rain video, a guy was having problems and he messaged me and he wanted me to do a close-up. So I figured I'll toss that in here. I'll show you guys camp here. This is camp. Camping in the boonies, the front yard. Which is where you should camp too. This is how we learn things. Okay, so I basically just put that part up there. Going, it's on a string. You probably can't see it. Hanging over a limb, it's hanging by a rock. And then the tarp's up. So air's pretty humid out here. See if we can make this fitness work for us. Try and get you as close up as I can. There we go. So, what I've already done, as you can see, was I just processed some a cedar tree. You know, just took the limbs off, made a batoned it all in half, you know. Cedar is awesome because it's got a lot of things you need. Baton all the wood. I still have some wood to baton actually. Now, and I just took some cedar bark and put it underneath here. And then put some dry cedar. You know, split some little logs and put it on top. Always check which way the wind's blowing before you start a fire. It's blowing that way, so I'm gonna, stab myself in the hand. I'm gonna light it from this side. It always takes a second. I'm not even sure if it's going to go.
Might have to, oh, come on, buddy. Get in there now. You ain't that wet. The question always is it gonna go when I remove the lighter? That question more often than not is no. There it goes, it's going. Blow in there, so I'll wait for it. Oh no. Oh no. It's like a little baby in the beginning. Little baby. I mean, I am way too clumsy to be starting fires like this. That's how much of a gentle baby you gotta treat it like. And now I've made a grievous error. No, I just realized I haven't finished processing my wood. But I started this fire, so. Oh, I love cedar wood, man. It smells so good. Plus you get the cedar bark, you know. When I burn cedar wood, it's really soothing. I hope this is close up enough for you. Are we gonna go out? No, we need more over. You know, basically just remember heat always rises, so you're trying to put more shit on top of the heat without smothering the flame out, right? Very, ow, gently. Like, yeah. And the reason why I love cedar bark is that all that cedar bark down there, it's all wet, you know, it wouldn't take a spark or anything. But when it fucking goes out like that, it makes a great coal, man. Oh, cedar bark holds a good coal. And so I light the little sticks on top of the cedar bark that's wet. And you have to macerate the cedar bark, by the way. You know, this is how it comes, right? But you gotta, like, really mush it up. Eventually, you know, just tease it and tear it apart, and eventually it goes into this nice fibrous material. You know, and that's still wet, but once the dry wood makes a flame, it'll dry out the cedar bark on the bottom, the teased cedar bark, and that will allow you to fucking get a nice coal, so you don't have to relight your shit. And obviously that'll work for anything. It's gonna keep playing Jenga, just building the tower up, building the tower up. It went out again, but you know we got some coals down there. Actually running out of wood, but blow right back up. And basically you just repeat this process until you have a big ass fire. You know, put progressively larger and larger pieces of wood on there. The whole goal is to get them large pieces of wood on there. So I hope that helps, dude, and, you know, anyone else who may have trouble making fire in the rain. You know, you just get out there and practice, man. You make so many of these fuckers. I promise. You will learn. No teacher is greater than experience, period. Well, there we go. Well, there's our fire. Zang! Alright, I'll be back when I get this thing going. I gotta go get some more wood and shit, and then I'll show you camp. I think we're going to succeed. Nice fire while it's rainy, sleety in camp. So, one thing I
I learned is that the snow and ice accumulation is accumulating on top of, you know, it's basically weighing it down. It's making the poncho sad. Sad poncho. Now if this was rain, it would be cool, but since it's not, it's staying on top of the poncho, so I had to stick a little root pole under, you know, up under there. A ridge pole, I guess you'd call it. Root pole. I don't know what the fuck a root pole is. Go gadget brain. So I stuck a ridge pole up here. You can see it's warm in here because you can see the water melting. You know, this heat from the fire is melting. You know, the ice up here is dripping down. So the hammock is still dry. Everything's cool. Nothing's getting wet. I got a place to put firewood. I got a place to put my bag that's not out here. I don't see any reason why we couldn't live like this, you know, until the fucking rain stopped or whatever. You know, I got lines. I could run a line from that tree under the poncho over the fire and dry out clothes and shit. But, and now if it was raining on the other hand, and we were trying to make a fire while it was raining, I wouldn't be able to put it up this high, because rain is usually accompanied by winds, and winds are going to blow in. Oh, that's the other thing too. This wouldn't be possible if I didn't know which way the storm was coming from, and it's really easy to figure that out with your handy friend. Who you gonna call? Bic Lighter. You just light them up. Probably not over the fire because it goes straight up, but he'll let you know which way the wind is blowing, right? So it's blowing this way right now. So I raised this end and put that end down. If I had gone backwards like that and put the fire over there, I wouldn't be able to have a fire underneath here. You see? You with me here? You see what I'm saying now? See? So, geez, I guess that's it. I'm calling success story. You know, it feels nice and warm under here. I don't know what else to say. So we could have a fire, we could cook food while it snows, while it ices, while it sleets, while it rains. You know? Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Just shooting some b-ball out by the pool. You know? I guess this is the end of the video, really. I'm just gonna hang out and see if I learn anything new. You never know. Sometimes you learn new shit. Salud!